This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I will say this about this Dolphins team. If Callaway screws his head on right and your two receivers are healthy in Parker and Preston Williams, and you get your running game going, and the versatility you have with a lot of players at running back and at wide receiver, I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If the offensive line figures it out, it is going to be a lot of fun this year as a Miami Dolphins fan, because that's the key to everything. You know that, and I know that. Everybody knows. I'm not breaking any kind of news here or enlightening most of you on anything like that, but we focus on Malcolm Perry and we focus on Antonio Callaway and is Preston Williams back from his knee, and you hear Chan Gailey talk about how he looks great one day and then the next day he looks a little, fatigued because of the knee and he's coming back from a knee injury, and Devontae Parker, and we talk about Mike Gesicki taking the next step, and all of this is nice, but it's up to those five guys up front, man. If those five guys up front don't figure it out, Fitz can't find his receivers. If those five guys don't figure it out, he won't be able to connect with Gesicki the way he wants. If those five guys don't figure it out, the running game will not be nearly as effective as it needs to be. And so all of this is depending on those five guys. And they've made a significant, investment in it. They've got Austin Jackson at left tackle, Eric Flowers at left guard, Ted Karras, the free agent, at center, okay? And Flowers was another free agent, Solomon Kinley at right guard, and Jesse Davis at right tackle. They've also invested a draft pick in Robert Hunt, okay? I know they've got Michael Dieter there also for depth purposes. He's worked center and guard. We'll see where Dieter may be needed at one point or another. Julian Davenport is a project guy that they've had on this roster. So they've made a heavy investment on this offensive line. Out of all the things we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, these are the guys we really need to come through, because it will make Myles Gaskins a little better. It will make Preston Williams a little better. It will make Ryan Fitzpatrick a little better, because it's really hard to run your offense without these guys doing their job. And that's really the focus. In game one against the Patriots, we need to see those five guys come through, because that, to me, is the ultimate key to everything, to having success. If Fitz playing well, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If Tua's going to play, you need that offensive line to play well. If it's a sieve and it's just, holes in the dike all over the place, it's over. You're done. And if there's penetration in the middle of that line, the edge rushers are killing you, there's no way you're going to see Tua out there. So those five guys are imperative to everything that they're trying to do. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that you'll win, but if at least you have a line blocking, everybody can do their job, and you have a chance now. And you have a chance for everything else to develop. And one of the keys last year in Isaiah Ford's development was Ryan Fitzpatrick. One of the keys in Gesicki's development was Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? So a lot of guys developed. Devontae Parker had a career year under Ryan Fitzpatrick, and yet they didn't have a great offensive line. But if we're going to have big-time success and not 5 wins and 11 losses, they're going to need a line that can actually get the job done so we can see a shot at the playoffs.
I can remember asking you sometime in May, a week or two after the draft, if our offensive line is able to gel and somehow become a decent unit, where do you think we are? And you were like, we're in the playoffs.
Yes. in the playoffs.
If that offensive line
Yes.
is the key to us,
Yeah.
if they do gel and get it by the third week, fourth, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
Got to give them a few weeks.
Yeah. I'm expecting better pass rush. I think our secondary is going to be just scary secondary, dude. Scary. I'm dying to see Noah play because if that kid can, it's kind of like the Callaway kid without the baggage, of course. I don't want to put Noah in the same thing, but I'm just talking about the bonus. If Noah can play up to snuff, then you've got 3 number 1 corners. That's awesome. You know what I mean? And then you're covering, and I don't think a lot of quarterbacks are going to have a lot of success against you. And those corners will help Agba and Lawson and all these cats become better pass rushers. Just like Sam Madison and Pat Surtain helped their front 7, it's the same thing here. And they're kind of, it's funny because sometimes when I read some of the writers or people talking about it, well, I don't know if they're going to have a great pass rush. And well, if you have a great secondary, your pass rush is going to be a little better than even they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they're assisted by something else, you know? And so that's why, to me, it's extremely important, man, that line, falls into place because it's going to open things up for a lot of people. Hell, the line opens up and they play well and you can run the ball, you're actually going to keep your defense fresh too, which would be really, really nice.